If a noise is able to be made, it is happening right now in my neighborhood. Wood chipper right now, lawn crew, something to do with my heater. Remember I said, I don't know if I told y'all, but my heater went out in my house. Please don't worry. I don't live in a cold climate. It's just cold to me. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. That is being fixed. There's banging. And now Douglas has decided to add to the noise. Now I get why the Grinch was going through it, okay? Noise, noise, noise. For some reason, I thought that the Sephora savings event ended today. I was so wrong. I'm so sorry, but luckily it's a quick Google away. I don't know what day it is. My birthday has me all thrown off. I was gonna tell y'all that, you know, the Ulla Hendriksen lip balm that I use forever, this lip treatment, I should say. I love a lip treatment more than a lip balm. This one has a little bit more color than the one that I wear every day. I have everything wild right now because I'm packing. Let me find the originals. Is it? Okay, hang on. So what I thought we would do today, let me tell you where my necklace is from. I'm gonna go ahead and tag it. Is this not gorgeous? One of my favorite necklaces. I hardly ever wear jewelry, but I had to go out today and find a slip to go under what I'm gonna wear for the award ceremony I mentioned yesterday. So are you guys put a little necklace? But yeah, I love this. I have another one from this brand too. I bought these on sale too, on Revolve. But I'll tag the brand, but I purchased them a while ago on Revolve. What I thought we would do today is my go-to Glam. It's gonna be a little heavier. It's Glam, but I thought we would do that because this is what I'm gonna wear for the award ceremony on Tuesday, which is why I'm going to New York, which I leave for New York on Sunday. So that's what we're doing. And there was something else I was gonna tell y'all. It'll come to me. Okay, I don't know where my other one is, but they have this one now. It's limited edition, but it has a little bit of color to it. See that? It's just a nice tint, but it's my favorite treatment recipe in the whole wide world recipe. And I was using the other one, and they sent me this one, but I did buy another one just to have a backup because I love it so much, and I love that this one has a little bit of a tint to it. The moment I sit down to do my makeup, I will put this on and I'll let it sit, and then I never have issues with any kind of lip product whatsoever. So if you haven't tried this particular lip treatment, get it right now while it's 10 or 20% off, depending on where your rouge or whatever VIB, I don't know the Sephora status stuff. But please do yourself a favor and try this. And there's one without a tint, and that's the original, but this is the one with the tint, and this is the one that I linked. Grabbing clean canvas, and then all the brushes I'm going to use are from the Essential Travel set here that we just released last month, actually. It's brand new. So let's just throw on some clean canvas. Get that going. Don't be afraid to take your base over this way and in here, because you might wind up putting eyeshadow there, and it's just best to have base. And then also, it's not a bad idea to take something this pigmented, and it's a very thin formula as long as you really thin it out with a brush like this, but it's gonna give us even more coverage in here, and the brighter that is, the better. So let's push that there. All right, got a clean canvas. Now, I don't set the eyeshadow base. I set it as I go. If you've ever had issues with your eyeshadow, it could be because you're setting it with powder prior. It's usually not beneficial. For a long time, I couldn't understand why when I would set, because I would learn that on YouTube, when I would set with powder, I couldn't get my eyeshadow to show up the way I wanted it to. And what you're doing is you're kind of blocking the pigment. So you're blocking your eyeshadow from really being enhanced, and that's what eyeshadow is for. You're kind of just going, okay, well, I'm just gonna set this with powder, and then your eyeshadow isn't able to perform the way that it's supposed to. Listen, this is a fun fact. This is a very expensive palette. Please don't think that you need it, but this is what I do. And as an artist, I have always wanted this palette. This is from Vise. Okay, this is a very classic palette. Some of you that have been into makeup, you'll recognize this instantly. I have always wanted this palette, and for some reason, I never got it. So now I got it. I actually ordered it from Revolve. They had it on there, and I wanted it. Now, the ruckusin that ruckuses in this house, in this neighborhood. So I'm grabbing this shade, and I'm just gonna keep building it up slowly. Did I? Yeah, I got the right one. That's it. Let's keep pressing that in. I have some Vise palettes and they are beautiful. They're stunning. They're a 10 out of a 10, would recommend. But they're very spicy priced. So I added just a little bit more on my brush, and I'm just going to keep tapping with the side of this brush to transition. So I knew when we were doing a travel set, I wanted something that was really thin. You'll see how much more thin this is than an E28. Okay, you see this? Look at that. It's a lot more thin, but it's really, really effective because you're still able to transition. And if you wanted to do some buffing motions, it's definitely large enough to do that. I don't normally do buffing motions. I feel that they can lift product because I do use such wet bases. But that being said, I picked up some more. I'm just going to deepen up the socket a little bit more. But if you need precision, you'll see me grab it on the tip and just a center. In just a minute, we'll grab the shadow in the center of the brush, and that's going to give us more precision. But for right now, let's just get a really nice transition by tapping. Now I grabbed some of this shade on the tip of the brush, tilt my head back, and we're just going to create some definition in the deepest part of the socket. So the socket is technically the area that we can't see. But when we blink, we're going to be able to see it. So that's why we're shading in there first. So you can tilt your head back, or this brush is just going to fit in here really nicely. You can bring it all the way over. See how the bristles are just fitting in there perfectly? Because we do want that. We need that shaded. But then what we're going to do is with whatever is left on the brush, we're going to just lightly tap out of the socket, and that's what's going to create that shade. And what that does is it makes the lid area, it's going to make it look more pronounced. If you've ever wondered why we're even shading the eye, it's because obviously the dark part, it's going to create definition. And what that does is it's going to bring the parts that we put lighter colors on forward. So we're pushing this back for definition, and that makes the eye pop and makes the lid space look bigger. Let me wipe my brush off on Sheila really quick. So I have one of my friends here in my DMs. They said that their husband was doing a load of towels today. And she said, hey, can you throw Sheila in there? And he said, why are we putting a Sheila into the washing machine? And she said, it's my towel. He said, why would somebody name a towel Sheila? And you know what, husband? I don't have an answer for you. Sheila is just Sheila. Now we're going to take this shade on the side of the brush. Press that on the highest point of the brow. From there, I'm going to take it over this way to blur and set, and then back over this way. Now, it's a daytime event, and most of you are thinking, good God, Rose, that's already a lot of eyeshadow. I like makeup, okay? We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my love of makeup. But I do think I want to keep my lid matte. So if I was gonna do a shimmer, it would just be a champagne shimmer. But I do think I want to keep it matte. And I also don't think I want to get too carved with the crease. So I'm not gonna worry about that. What I'm gonna do is just take whatever is left here on my brush and just make sure my lid is extra tacky. And then we'll just put it over here. Gosh, this brush fits there perfectly. It's like I thought of everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this shade, pack that in the center. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm also going for kind of a 90s vibe. I'm wearing a black blazer and it has white lapels on it, very 90s. So pack that on towards the front and the center. And the 90s just reminded me of these kind of cool, yet, I don't know, neutrally wonderful shades. And then we're taking this shade, take that shade and then we'll press that out here. It's just a smidgel darker. So pretty. So I love this eye. I love it so much. I'm excited. Now I'm gonna do a wing. This one from Stila, but I'm gonna do brown. I feel like brown's gonna be really, really fun. I'm gonna try to not have a big flapping wing, just a whisper wing. Oh no, she's gonna take flight. Oh, she's gonna take flight. She's gonna take flight. So then I wanted to grab the sculpting detail brush, grab this gray shade, And I thought it'd be fun just to kind of ever so lightly smudge this. I like that Stila liner because it isn't too warm, but this is even going to keep it a little bit cooler. And then I'll just smudge over this way as well. Grab some more on the brush, the gray. Turn to the side and just smudge that lash line. Then I'm going to take micellar water on this brush and just really clean up and sharpen over here. So whenever I'm going to be seen in the public eye, I'm such a recluse. I like to use these lashes. These are Moonlite from Rokael Beauty. And the reason why is because the band is just non-existent. So let's let that get a little bit more tacky on my eye. Then we're going to wipe our lash applicators. These are from House of Lashes, by the way. And then we're going to start to clamp, and it's going on the skin. It's not going on the actual lash. And then I'll kind of just mold them where I want them. Clamp through the center. I don't know if I mentioned it because I'm in the zone, but these are from House of Lashes. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to ever so lightly extend. It just makes such a difference because if I had left this bare, it would look like the lash line just stops. So by just adding the tiniest amount of the liquid to extend, it makes it look like the lash band just keeps going. All right, I'm gonna pick some up here on my brush. I don't have a lot, so I'm not dipping the brush into heavy amounts. Gone. Gone. Please try this foundation. If you have never tried this foundation, or if this was your favorite, it's back. I'm gonna get you a link. It's not an affiliate link. It's just me loving the product. It's just so happy. This is that Cover FX foundation. Look at the side of my face. It looks airbrushed. The match, flawless. I don't know if y'all have ever had the chance to try. I know I'm being dramatic, but this is a very big deal to me. This is something that I thought was being discontinued, coming back from the makeup grave. I'm just excited. I am just overly excited. It's good for all skin types. It's crazy full coverage. Do you see this? Crazy full coverage, but on top of that, it's so thin. But it's good for everyday wear. I would say that if let me compare it to the Kiko. The Kiko has even more coverage, but this is something that's going to have skincare ingredients. Watch this. Watch. Here, I'll cover this up. I don't have anything over here. I'm doing my Armani liquid bronzer. I'm doing shade 100. I might actually do just a hair of contour, but it's such a good contour shade. It's not too gray, and it's not this. This is bronzer. I'm going to confuse y'all, but I get ahead of myself because I get excited. It's the Makeup Forever, but right now let's just do bronzer. We're warm, we're bronzing. We're using our cream sculpting brush. This is the one we use for foundation. And this is in that travel set as well. That looks so good. You gotta sing about it. Blend that in. Like you saw, I definitely do my foundation with this brush. This is wonderful, but when I designed this brush, the main thing I had in mind was cream bronzers and liquid bronzers. It is so good for that. Now let's fill in our gaps. We're gonna do our concealer. This is the Gucci one that I'm still testing out. So I tried this PLouise blush and I really liked it. I took the sponge, it has a sponge off. I'm not a big sponge girl. I'm just gonna place it with my finger, and I don't have any concealer on at the moment either. So we wanna do this, and we're gonna take it up really high. This is not gonna be the pink under eye trend, I promise. I do love that, but that's not what we're doing here in case you're thinking. What we're doing is we're creating flow from the under eye down to the bronzer. Isn't that pretty? It blended so beautifully, and it looked beautiful, and it lasted. I really like it. Now let's go ahead and tap this in with our concealer brush. And do you see that perfect flow now? Again, it's not gonna turn your under eye pink. There's not enough, but it's gonna be that perfect transition. No gaps. looks good. Now let's set with some Givenchy. Ooh, shade number 3. And then look at how smooth that is. Flawless transition. And then I will just set the center as well with the same Givenchy powder. Just let me see where I'm setting. So then I want to do contouring. I'm talking a whisper. Look at this, okay? It's nice and cool. This is from Makeup Forever. These are, I haven't found anything that compares to this formula when it comes to contour. Grab it in the center of this brush, and I'm just going to press it right where my natural contour is. Just a little bit, just a hair. And then I want to put some, just a little bit right there. And you know how we let bronzer and blush really migrate? Contour doesn't do the same thing. We don't want to do that. We want to keep contour pretty close to where we actually have a natural contour, or where we are creating that contour. We don't want this to go up too high here. It's really to create that depth and that shadow in specific areas. So now I'm going to take this shade with our little sculptor here, and we're just going to smudge underneath there. Really get into the lash line. Now let's do an inner corner highlight, but let's do it with a matte. Let's just add a little bit of brightness to the eye, just like we would a shimmer, but we're going to do it with this really pretty bright matte. So I want to do a red lip for the event, and I want to use this one because it's not going to move once it sets. It's from Revlon. The shade is First Class, and then I'm going to do this Mario lip liner to shade before it dries. And I just bought this when my Sephora order came. This shade is called Kelly, and it's going to be perfect with this. Now I have a lip liner on with this, so the lip liner is still going to transfer, but since it's on the outer rim, it's not going to transfer, say like this, but this right here, once it dries, it doesn't transfer. I love this lipstick. So there we go. I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the award show. I love this, and I love the palette. I've always wanted this palette. I love it. I'm gonna take it with me. All right, I have a bunch of things I need to film before I leave. I love y'all so much. Definitely saving this to to YouTube, because I mean, this is one we're gonna want to go back and reference. This is so classic, and lots of good tips. I love you all so much. I'm not gonna post tonight, but I will see y'all Sunday. And then of course, I'm always here to answer DMs. I love y'all. Y'all are my friends. All right, love you.